Welcome to Primal Health. For decades, the foundation of modern dietary guidelines has rested heavily on the consumption of carbohydrates. Governments and health authorities around the world have advocated for diets composed of 50–60% carbohydrates, often suggesting this is necessary for health and energy. However, this long-standing nutritional dogma is now being seriously questioned by leading researchers and practitioners who argue that not only are carbohydrates non-essential, but also that their overconsumption is at the root of many modern health crises. Please join us while we explore the myth of essential carbohydrates, the physiological and biochemical flaws in high-carb dietary recommendations, and the evidence supporting low-carbohydrate, high-fat diets as more compatible with human metabolism and health. What is the definition of essential in nutrition? In nutritional science, the term essential refers to nutrients that the body cannot synthesize on its own, and therefore must be obtained through diet. Examples include essential fatty acids like omega-3 and omega-6, and essential amino acids, of which there are 8 or 9. These nutrients are vital for bodily functions such as cell repair, hormone production, and immune system regulation. In contrast, carbohydrates do not meet the criteria of essentiality. The human body can create glucose, the primary sugar in carbohydrates, through a process called gluconeogenesis, wherein protein and fat are converted into glucose. This fact alone invalidates the foundational logic of promoting a carbohydrate-rich diet for basic survival or health. The modern emphasis on high carbohydrate consumption stems from flawed dietary guidelines introduced in the 1970s. When governments recommended limiting fat intake to no more than 30% of total calories, it inadvertently mandated that at least 55% of calories come from carbohydrates. This shift has had disastrous consequences for public health, leading to a rise in obesity, type 2 diabetes, and other metabolic diseases. The logic behind these guidelines ignored two critical facts. Protein tends to make up a fixed proportion of most natural diets, around 15%, and fat is a far more efficient and essential fuel source than carbohydrates. As a result, encouraging low-fat eating invariably promotes high carbohydrate consumption, an unnatural and unnecessary dietary approach for humans. If you're enjoying this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with friends. Let's look at the body's true fuel preferences. The human body operates optimally on fat and protein, not carbohydrates. Basal metabolic functions such as cellular repair, muscle maintenance, and immune defense require fat and protein, not sugar. A typical woman needing 2,000 calories a day requires about 1,500 calories just for basal metabolic functions. These are best fueled by essential nutrients, amino acids, and fats. If those 2,000 calories are instead consumed as carbohydrates, most will not be used for essential repair functions and will be stored as fat. Since carbohydrates are the easiest macronutrient to overconsume, especially in the form of sugar and processed foods, it is no surprise that obesity and insulin resistance have become widespread. Let's talk about insulin, fat storage, and weight gain. Insulin plays a central role in carbohydrate metabolism. When carbohydrate intake increases, blood glucose levels rise. The body responds by secreting insulin, which shuttles glucose into cells for energy or storage. But when cells are full, or the glucose is not immediately needed, insulin drives excess glucose into fat storage.
Over time, chronic elevation of insulin, known as hyperinsulinemia, leads to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes and many other chronic conditions.
Frequent snacking, high-carb meals, and sugary beverages ensure that insulin levels remain elevated throughout the day, blocking fat burning and promoting fat storage. This constant rollercoaster of blood sugar and insulin spikes also contributes to fatigue, irritability, and food cravings. The calorie deficit fallacy refers to the mistaken belief that simply eating fewer calories than you burn is the key to weight loss, ignoring how different macronutrients, especially carbohydrates, affect metabolism, hormones, and fat storage. Conventional wisdom suggests that weight loss is simply about eating fewer calories than you burn. But this oversimplified model ignores how different macronutrients affect metabolism. Calories from carbohydrates stimulate insulin and inhibit fat burning. In contrast, fat and protein provide satiety and fuel without triggering fat storage mechanisms. Real weight loss requires entering a physiological state in which the body can access and use stored fat. This cannot occur if dietary carbohydrates are constantly present, as insulin will prevent the mobilization of fat stores. Cutting carbohydrates, especially processed and starchy ones, is the most effective way to unlock fat burning. Carbohydrate restriction improves metabolic flexibility by training the body to burn fat more efficiently. Metabolic flexibility is the body's ability to switch between burning carbohydrates and fats for fuel. However, most people today are stuck in sugar-burning mode due to the constant influx of carbohydrates. Reducing carbohydrate intake allows the body to access fat for fuel, a state known as nutritional ketosis. This shift often leads to enhanced mental clarity, reduced hunger, and improved energy levels. Some experience temporary discomfort during the transition, commonly called keto flu, but this typically resolves within days, as the body adapts to burning fat more efficiently. Let's get into practical steps to reduce carbohydrates today. A successful transition to a low-carb lifestyle begins with eliminating processed foods, cookies, cakes, cereals, and sugary drinks. Next, remove starchy foods such as bread, pasta, rice, and potatoes, which offer little nutritional value and spike blood sugar. Focus meals around nutrient-dense whole foods, meat, fish, eggs, cheese, full-fat dairy, and non-starchy vegetables. For those needing moderate carbohydrate intake, options like Greek yogurt, berries, and starchy vegetables in small amounts may still fit. The key is to individualize the approach based on one's metabolic health and goals. Is fiber essential to our overall health and well-being? A commonly cited concern with reducing carbohydrates is fiber deficiency. But fiber is not essential. It is an indigestible form of carbohydrate, technically waste. The belief that fiber is needed for gut health and bowel regularity has been heavily promoted by cereal companies and misinformed health authorities. The body does not require fiber to function. In fact, cutting fiber can reduce bloating, gas, and digestive discomfort for many. Instead of fiber, focus on consuming fermented foods like kefir, yogurt, and sauerkraut, which genuinely support gut flora. Let's end the ongoing debate concerning dairy. Dairy products are among the most nutrient-dense foods available, offering complete proteins, calcium, vitamin D, and beneficial fats. While some individuals, particularly those of Asian descent, may be lactose intolerant, many others thrive on dairy. Quality matters. In countries with stricter food regulations, dairy from grass-fed cows offers higher levels of omega-3s and CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. Fermented dairy products such as kefir, blue cheese, and Greek yogurt also support gut health without the need for added fiber. Let's discuss supplements and supportive strategies to help you achieve your goals. While a nutrient-dense diet should cover most nutritional bases, some supplements can enhance health, particularly in carbohydrate-restricted diets. Vitamin D3 and K2. These are crucial for immune function and calcium metabolism. Omega-3 fatty acids. These are essential for brain and heart health, especially for those not consuming much fish. Magnesium and electrolytes work to support energy metabolism and can help reduce symptoms during the low-carb transition. Probiotic-rich foods like kefir are superior to capsules for restoring gut health, particularly after antibiotic use. The carnivore diet can provide complete nutritional sufficiency when focused on a variety of animal-based foods. The carnivore diet, consisting exclusively of animal products, raises questions about nutrient completeness. However, studies show that those on carnivore diets often experience significant health improvements, including weight loss, improved metabolic markers, and mental clarity. Contrary to popular belief, animal products contain all essential nutrients, including vitamin C in organ meats like liver. The Inuit, Maasai, and other indigenous groups thrived for centuries on animal-based diets without signs of nutrient deficiency. Fasting versus keto, which should we get behind? Fasting is another popular approach to fat loss, but extended fasts can trigger starvation signals and reduce basal metabolic rate. For many, especially women, This can worsen hormonal imbalances or disordered eating patterns. A better strategy is a nutrient-rich ketogenic diet, which mimics fasting by triggering fat burning without depriving the body of essential nutrients. An overnight fast of 12 and 14 hours, from dinner to breakfast, provides metabolic benefits while maintaining hormonal balance and satiety. The psychological shift moves from feeling restricted to embracing nourishment through real, satisfying foods. Perhaps the most profound shift in adopting a low-carb lifestyle is psychological. Moving away from obsessive calorie counting and toward real, satisfying food can restore a healthy relationship with eating. Cravings diminish and energy stabilizes. People rediscover the joy of meals without the guilt or constant hunger associated with high-carb diets.
The evidence is clear. There are no essential carbohydrates.
The human body thrives on fat and protein, not sugar and starch. The current dietary guidelines, advocating 55% or more carbohydrates, are not only outdated but harmful. By understanding the metabolic truth and rejecting the carbohydrate myth, individuals can reclaim their health, energy, and vitality. The solution is simple: eat real food, reduce carbohydrate intake, fuel your body with what it truly needs, and experience the transformative power of nutritional freedom. Thanks for watching. Please share this with loved ones and subscribe today.
Check out our next video right here.